Hello everyone, my name is Shreyasi. I'm a Bengali and I live in Bangalore. So the main reason I have opened this channel is particularly, see, I have been in Bangalore for last 4 years or so, and I really miss the food which I used to have when I was a kid. When I spent around 22 years in Kolkata, and obviously I have that Bengali roots too, and I love to eat such food. And unfortunately, most of those food items are not available in Bangalore. Even if you go to some restaurants and all, once in a while you can have it. But then again, I love to have home cooked meals because number one, home cooked meals are healthy, much healthier, because outside food they use palm oils and everything. Even if I'm cheating on my diet, like currently I have been doing a diet and all, even if I'm cheating on a diet, I try to, have some home cooked meal altogether. So today I am starting this new series where I will be, giving you recipes. Some will be healthy recipes, healthy diet recipes, which I usually, have to meet in my diet, and there will also be some. Cheat recipes. Like every weekend I prefer to cheat, because if, like, what I realized over over a long period of time when I started my dieting journey, it's like if I start a very hard and strict diet and I do it for a week or so, after that I feel to continue it anymore, because, like, quite obvious, I'm a foodie and I love food. I love trying out different cuisines altogether. But then again, like, once you start eating too much outside, you start gaining weight, you start, coming across health problems and everything. So after considering everything, I started this diet. And so most of the time I cook healthy meals. Every day I cook healthy meals. I try to try different recipes, some Bengali recipes, and some healthy recipes, and also some cheat diets. So today we will be making some Dada-Boudi style proper biryani. I hope whoever is Bengali, whoever is watching, you will be very well accustomed to that particular shop where they used to sell Bengali biryani. Biryani outside West Bengal is primarily without aloo. And being a Bengali, I cannot deal with that. I hate biryani. I know that's a very strong word, but I hate biryani without aloo. For me, biryani is nothing without aloo. So today I will be making my own version, not exactly my own version. I will be following a particular recipe of the Dada-Boudi style biryani, and I'll try to recreate it and I'll try to share it with you all. So here I'm not telling all the ingredients which I'm using in biryani. Most of the ingredients are readily available at our place. I'm just mentioning the elements which are not readily available at our place. So here, as you can see, this is the Cura water which I have taken. I have ordered it from a Bengali store here. Then I am using full fat milk. You can also use buffalo milk here. Then after that I am using milk mist khoya. Khoya kheer is one of the most integral part. Along with that I have taken ginger garlic paste, mutton 700 grams, rose water I have taken. This is also Bengali rose water. This is the Javitri which I am using for my biryani. Along with this is the jaipal or the nutmeg which I am using here. So mace and nutmeg are the two important ingredients. Now this is kesar. This is a Kashmiri kesar which I am using here. This is a pack of biryani masala which I got. And this is one of the most important thing, which is meetha atar. Meetha atar is one of the most important part of Bengali biryani, apart from aloo, of course. This is a food color. We will be adding this for coloring of the rice a little bit later. So here I'll try to break the recipe into steps so that it becomes very easy for you to understand, as well as cook biryani at home in very few steps and very easily, rather, because there are many people staying outside who crave for biryani. This is the most easiest way in which you can make it. So as you can see, I have been chopping a few onions. So here I have taken around 4 small onions and 2 to 3 large onions. I am chopping them. This is milk with khoya and saffron mixture, and along with that I added half a spoon of biryani masala. And this is saffron water, in which I have added just a little drop of food color, and I have mixed 2 tablespoons of Kira water, 1 spoon of rose water. Now coming to the next step, here I have taken the ginger garlic paste. I have run it once again into the mixer grinder with adding some water, and now I'm very particularly straining out all the juices which is there in the ginger garlic paste. I'm not adding it completely. I'm not adding the paste. I'm just adding the juice here. Generally when we are making curries and all, we directly add the paste, but here in case of biryani we are supposed to add the juice only. So this is very specific to Dada-Boudi biryani. They do not use anything, the paste or the solid form of it. They just use or just add the juices of it. So here, as you can see, I'm straining out all the juices as possible from the ginger garlic paste, and I will only be using the juice, not the paste altogether. So coming to our next step, I have added around half a cup of oil into this particular pressure cooker, and I have added, once it heat up, I have added all the onions which I've cut. I used around 400 grams of cut onion, and I've started cooking it. I've started sauteing the onions, and I'll continue sauteing the onions till it turns out around brownish, yellowish brownish in color, almost 70% cooked onions. But we don't need to make it completely brown, because we are not making barista here. We are particularly making some onion so that we can extract the juice of onion, in which we will be cooking the potato later on. So as you can see in the process, the onions have turned brown now. I have fast forwarded the video. Now I'm adding around 2 cups of water to this. So once it heats up, I'm adding all the potatoes here. So once I've added the potatoes, I will be adding some salt to this water, some chili powder. Here I've used Kashmiri chili powder for the color, so that the potato also gets the color of the chili powder along with the onions, and some salt of course to boil the potatoes. I will cover with the lid, and I'll keep it here for 17 minutes. So after 17 minutes, the potatoes should be around 40% done. So I will be removing the potatoes from this particular concoction, and in the same mixture here onwards, after removing the potatoes, I will be gradually adding all the mutton pieces. So here I have taken biryani cut mutton pieces, which are normally larger than the regular curry cut mutton pieces. So I have taken around 6 to 7 pieces of mutton here. I'm adding all those mutton pieces into this concoction gravy. Now once I have added the mutton, I'll mix it once into the gravy. Then I'll add sufficient amount of salt in order to cook the mutton, and I'll also add some chili powder here. As you can see, I've added the salt here. I will also add half a spoon of biryani masala here, because that is required for the taste. And to this only, I will add some nutmeg. So I'll grate some nutmeg directly into this mixture. And here I am adding the ginger garlic paste for the mutton to cook with it. Only the juice, as I mentioned earlier as well. The juice is added. The water is starting to boil again, as you can see. So here I am taking the nutmeg, which is the jaifal, and I am grating it a little bit into the gravy so that the mutton gets infused with the jaifal flavor. So I have taken around half a jaifal here, not exactly half, around 30 to 40% of a jaifal. I have taken and grated it into this directly. Now I'll give it a good mix. I'll mix it nicely so that everything gets mixed with the mutton. And now I will put the lid back on, and I'll cook it in medium-high flame for at least 5 CTs here. So 5 times the pressure cooker will release the CTs, and I'll cook it till then. After that, I'll put it off and keep it aside for 10 to 15 minutes to release the pressure. Next step is taking whole garam masalas. Here you can see what all masalas I have taken. I am heating up the water, adding the whole garam masalas here into the water, and I am adding a few drops of lemon to this so that the rice after cooking, they don't stick to each other. This is a trick which I always use when I am making biryani at home. So I've changed the pressure cooker actually, because that one was a bit smaller for the amount of rice I'm cooking.
I've also used some jaifal and javitri, mace and nutmeg I've added to the water so that the rice infuses, it gets infused by the flavor of it. Now I'm adding the rice very carefully. The rice, after it was cooked for 70%, I sieved it aside. I have, removed all the water. Now I'm starting with the assembly part of the biryani. I'm putting the mutton at the bottom of the pressure cooker. On it, I'm adding the gravy, the remaining gravy, which will act as our yakni here. On top of it, I'm adding the boiled potatoes, which we cooked earlier. Now, after we have added all the potatoes, here what I'm adding is khoya kheer. I am adding little bit of khoya kheer and distributing it all throughout the surface here. After the khoya kheer, I am adding some curd here. I'll cover the surface with the curd, and after the curd is added, I will mix it up once with the spoon. I will mix it up all with the gravy. We don't need to cook it separately with the curd. We just need to mix it up, and it will get automatically cooked in the dum. And along with this, we will add some full fat milk here. The buffalo milk or the full fat milk which we have got, we will be adding that milk here, and again mixing it all together once. Give it a good mix. Now you can see I've mixed it all. Now we are adding the rice. We'll add a complete layer of rice and evenly spread it on top of the mutton and aloo mixture. Here on the first layer I am adding half of the rice which I had. Now I am adding the meetha color and kesar mixture. So this will give a very nice flavor to our rice. Then I am adding the milk, khoya and kesar mixture here. Then adding the second layer of rice. Once the second layer of rice is added, I'm spreading it out evenly throughout the surface. Once the rice is spread out, I'm again adding the meetha mixture once again on top of it. Now I will be adding some ghee to this. So around 2 to 3 tablespoons of ghee I am adding. Cook the rice in dum for around 35 minutes on a tawa, and I'll close it off with the atta and a thal, and I will put some weight on top of it. I'll show a small video of how I have put it on dum.